Alright, so when I got a warning, which is equal to a YouTube strike, okay? It's just a warning deletes your video. A warning doesn't actually, like, say, you're doing this wrong over there. You might want to stop. Because we will start stacking some strikes on you. And you will be banned for, like, a year or something. No, 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 no. This is profit-driven platform. So here's the script, okay? Warning. Poof, video deleted. Because video is obviously gonna negatively affect people, right? Not privatized, not this is what you did wrong, we cannot publicize your video, actually. No. Delete. Bye-bye. You know, kicks you in the fucking face. Martial arts. We're gonna get to the eat the rich part soon. But you have to understand the YouTube script of harassment. Other creator harassment. Because that's what I got a strike for harassment. Ooh, harassment for harassment, thank you very much. Again, don't fucking panic and pretend that I'm just mumbling, I'm just irritated, just panicking. I'm here to fucking process what happened out loud and tell you the script of YouTube that they follow that can be updated significantly, and everyone, it would help a lot of people. Because you want to, in life, the magical thing, the nicest thing that could fucking happen is avoid bad feelings, is avoid bad confrontations, dealing with bad people. You don't want to, you want to avoid that shit. But how do you do that? It's rough. Sometimes you gotta be tough to avoid taking damage. What it's like to get tough, I wonder. It's not easy, huh? You can't be a whiny bitch anymore. You can't just accept the imaginary rules and the imaginary lines. You just gotta fucking take the hit. So, okay, they delete your video, they just kind of bury your responsibility under, well, we're gonna warn you and tell you just the general vibe of what's wrong. We went through the fucking list of the questionnaire that was absolute dog shit and made things even more confusing in the end of the day, because why not? It's not a fluid platform where bad things going to the dark hole can be only accessed if you're old enough. Plus 18, plus 20, like, you tell me, buddy. Alright, you tell me how deep you want to go. And it's nice that we're sort of, like, trying to verify people's ages. It would be nice to actually verify people's ages and allow people to just, you know, have their videos somewhere, somehow, hosted on the platform, whatever they are. Like something like saying words if it gets banned, because I get this strike 4 different ways of saying words, of expressing certain ideas. The copy strike, election misinformation, medical misinformation, this harassment case, basically. And again, a harassment case is so close to, like, where I said eat the rich, so close to that concept, and might as well, right? Because Technoblade is a pig, pigs are edible, yada yada 6-7, right? Technoblade is kind of rich, you know, like, it's a match made in heaven and also harassment made in hell, I guess. How could this be? How could this be both things? How could this be 6 and 7? I don't know, but it's just there. It's defined as the best and the worst thing you can possibly think of, or declaration of war by rich people. I like to think of it that way, because we're technically constantly fighting for oxygen in this fucking decrepit world where rich people control most of the things. So, yeah. You don't just wake up. You wake up to fight for oxygen. Alright? Because a rich person will always step on your toes. Rich person will always brainwash you to think certain things. Rich person will always be your only charity. Yeah. No one else will help you with nothing. Maybe your parents, if they're rich. uh, no, my parents were poor. That sucked. My mom's pretty rich though. Relatively speaking. Relatively to her efforts. So yeah, let's continue the script. Like there's week ban, month ban. They just block you straight up if you're making mistakes. And again, all this technically automated, so they don't actually care, right? They want a little bit of saltiness, so you don't actually step out of line. You're always trembling in fear after encountering one of these uh, crazy slaps in the face. And appeal process is an absolute joke. They don't want to be honest. They're rich people. They don't want to be honest, or there's just like some automated response because they haven't fucking checked the video. But why say that? Why encourage eat the rich? Why do this? Right? Because we'll find the way. We'll just find it. It's there. We'll pave the way. Okay? Eventually, we have to. That's the final fucking nail in the coffin for capitalism. This has to be invented, or we are not finishing capitalism yet. You gotta keep on capitalism. Every country who will not finish this project, this video that I'm talking about, we will fucking figure out exactly how to do this. Countries that will not finish this project will remain capitalistic hellscapes. Fucking capitalistic hellscapes that will bow down to rich people. Be enslaved by the rich people. You'll have to pay your rent. Every time you want that oxygen, every time you want stress-free life, you'll have to bow down to the nearest rich person, suck on their toes, baby. That's just reality. That's just the post-apocalyptic capitalism. Countries that still choose to use capitalism, countries that still don't know that rich people are the fucking steering the pot, putting in the spice in the pot, and have enough power to stop or encourage bad behavior. I don't know, man. I don't know. Stop or encourage bad behavior. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's something now that Penguin Zero is actually confronted by me. Right? You want to continue bad behavior, buddy? Or do you want to stop it? It's your choice. You're not just some guy. You're not just some guy. You get to decide whether you say stop or go on actually relevant things, not of whether we decide to eat the rich or not. I guess we can pause that, unhinged behavior a little bit, but we have to build the project. And even if my country fails to build the project, I will at least know what it is, what has to be done to finish off capitalism, because capitalism lives on. But if it's unfinished, it's still gonna be trendy. It's still gonna be fucking ruining people's lives, enjoying the poverty of the people, because that's the ultimate benefit of, like, you're immoral, you're poor now. Poor me getting YouTube strikes every now and then, but you know what? That's not poverty. That's motherfucking skill. That's what I have to do. I gotta get them strikes. I gotta collect them. Like Pokemon. Okay? I have 4 types of strikes, baby. What do you have? What the fuck do you have, boy? I'm way better than you. I'm telling you. Collecting strikes is the best fucking thing on YouTube. Every now and then. That's the first thing you have to learn how to do, is get struck. You think I'm a fucking fool? You think I'm a fool? Maybe I want to get strikes on all my channels. At least one. I want to cross the boundaries at least on one of my channels. one time every 90 days. I have to maximize the fucking potential here. Because you just have to maximize uh, your power level in a broken system. No? But I just want to like float with the flow. Go with the flow, alright? I don't want to actually exercise this sort of behavior because you just never know when you get slapped. Like, you can't dodge all the bullets. Alright? Just have to enjoy surviving their shots. Because, well, at least it was very quick, right? I got 400 views on the video and bam, bleeding. Oh, am I Charlie Kirk? So yeah, despite the, the scarecrow, strikes are good. I get to learn a few things. Now, the question is, like, if I catch the same Pokemon, are they gonna hurt me immediately? Because in the end of the day, like, they just delete the video, and again, it just comes out of nowhere. Would they want to still hurt me? The abusers might be smart, but the person getting abused gets all the experience, technically. So in the previous video, I'm like, okay, you can disrespect me all day long, but I'm the actually person who does the cancer research, who is waiting for science to say what's going on exactly. I'm like, I'm the first one. Not even Technoblade's dad is gonna be like 3 days later. 3 days later he will break the news of like, oh, that's where the cancer came from. That's how much I want to know. I want to know more about his death than anyone else. Any of their fans, nothing, bro. They care nothing about Technoblade in actuality, because when the death hits, the evil flips the script entirely. Every single time evil comes in to play, it flips the script. You have to feel the complete opposite way about what you once felt to someone. The complete opposite. You have to feel resentment, and you have to feel innate curiosity that cannot be satisfied. You can satisfy curiosity when someone is alive by watching their videos, but you cannot satisfy that when they're dead. So now you have innate curiosity of like, there's gotta be something I can learn that helps me understand Technoblade better, right? Now the content is somewhere relocated, somewhere else entirely, right? You can't expect Technoblade to whisper into your ear anymore about any of this, about his life in any way. So, trust me, guys, I'm built different. I am more respectful by being disrespectful, because I know when to flip the script, while other people just dwell in their fucking diseased life. And their brain rot, and they just spread cancer across the internet, and just call it a fucking day. They think they are making progress. Well, okay, so be ready, guys. Every single country will have to transition away from capitalism. They cannot dwell on this fucking thing. We have to say we perfected it, now we're gonna, like, establish order around here. Because we are dwelling on a broken system. We're hoping that some special guy is gonna build a special business and will save us all. That's what we're doing when we're afraid of capitalism. We're hoping that someone is going to be brave enough, they will build a business, and they will solve the biggest problem within our location. But at some point, it ain't happening. Okay? How do you solve this problem of noise using the capitalism? You can't call police. You can't fucking not sell them something, because capitalism is about selling things. So what can you possibly sell to them that they would want to buy? And that would also solve their problem. A problem of having these people in the first place. Right? At some point, people just bought into a lot of fucking things that are very harmful to them, or rather, their society. But it's harmful to them because they're just wasting their fucking time. Right? They're doing something meaningless. Usually what's harmful to others is harmful to everyone. including the fucking caster, the spellcaster. War is lost on both sides that consented to having the war. Usually you can just flee, and you'll still be fine if you do that. If you want to defend your territory, you're still signing up for war, to some extent. Although that is confusing, so let's not dwell on that either. Basically, you can't sell these guys anything special, alright? They have their darkness gang activated. It's the dumbest fucking thing on the planet, alright? But they have their fucking toys. They have their fucking weapons, rather. Unless you can take that away or restrict that, put on additional rules, you can't control these people. That's why we have to go away from the market-based society, the trend part of society, what is trendy to do, into the rule-based society, where we can start restricting things properly in a calculated manner. We have to, like, make choices. Tough decisions have to be made of how he gonna regulate society. People have to engage in that. And I'm not sure how it looks like in the bottom level. I just call it surveillance. Surveillance trend. Sounds weird, sounds like surveillance is a dirty word, and that's the only fucking word that works right now, so... Where we just, like, watch after each other. We watch after each other, we, like, care about each other. This doesn't seem like a dirty word for me. We might discover a lot of dead bodies after we start knocking on people's doors, by the way. So, ooh, dead body, oh shit. Nobody checked that person. We gotta find more dead bodies than just technoblades. Maybe even more meaningful ones. When we actually enable surveillance. And this is the first thing that gets hit out of existence. Or just, like, generally, like, just... societies have to find some kind of order. If order is not found, you're not going to be productive enough. If you're not productive enough, you can't keep up. It's also a little bit of a war zone. You gotta compete with other countries, too. Right? It's almost like it's even more a competitive environment than capitalism. Cold War style competition, you can imagine. Governments are either going to be disrupted, like their entire countries can be disrupted, or they're going to figure out the proper rules to regulate tough situations. You can sabotage certain countries. Nigerian news. Thriving biking community. What is the community doing to be, like, let's be honest here. What is the prettiness about it? Stealing phones as fast as possible? Is stealing phones speedrun? Like, what is their activity that, like, I'm supposed to be impressed about? I'm supposed to be like, whoa, going from point A to point B as a single person. It's a fucking incel, basically. Rather. Criminals are incels, I don't care how you fucking put it. They have to have their own insults like that. Insult that comes from women, but no, let's have the criminal insult, like, later and stuff. Okay, I'll wait. I can't wait for, because that's criminal behavior. That's just like role-playing as a criminal, right? LARPing as a criminal. Wearing masked helmets, everything is just unidentifiable. We don't even know if they have fucking license plates or not. I mean, that's how fucking weird it is. They're literally the peak level reason to regulate society. Peak level. And you might still not get how extensive the list is. So I hope you're somewhat convinced that the project has to occur. Every country has to build a project, otherwise they're just gonna turn into North Korea. Communistic hellscape. Anything that's right now communistic in the trendiness is just they fell behind. And these lands can be conquered by brute force. Capitalism can kick their ass, basically. So to be able to conquer capitalism is just something you have to be ready for, because this governism idea, oh, that's my words. You can use any word you like to describe the upcoming trends of regulating things so things don't get out of control. All right? So people are safe. So internet is not fully fucking dead. We can all now build websites. We should all be able to fucking pull that off. Right? We should all know the baseline things we have to do. We might even adopt country-based operating systems. Country will decide which operating system to use to synchronize, optimize, centralize. There's many things will be required to discuss, as we hit that trend level. The discussion will shift dramatically. All right? You will feel that we're no longer talking about money, we're talking about something else. We're talking about never-ending threats here and there. Threat levels just keep rising. All right? Anyone can just make a makeshift gun, drone, explosive, blah, blah, blah. Just list goes on. Anyone can be a menace to society. So, threat levels keep rising, guys, past this point. Including the threat that we might need to replace YouTube as a whole. We might need a third generation platform, because YouTube is refusing like a little fucking baby. It's refusing to grow up. That could happen. Anything can happen right now. We don't know. Although YouTube's on a different scale. The fate of YouTube is not like changing of this number, it's traveling through generation. See, if my biggest grudge is that YouTube is not government enough, it will become government driven. Independent, very likely independent platform. It's gonna be declared as a country. Who knows, man? You might even be getting YouTube citizenship. YouTube citizenship approved. It makes sense. You can also get YouTube money, so why not have YouTube citizenship? Maybe it boosts something. Maybe you'll get free YouTube Premium. I don't know. The possibilities are endless, but that's a different story. The rich enlists people who are toxic. Toxic people, they're rich by default. That's the first and foremost rule. Again, those bikers, the dog owners, rich by default. Default meaning that they are toxic, they're violent, they're dangerous. People like that will be enlisted in you're rich. You're rich, somehow, something makes you rich. Don't talk about it. Don't try to argue. Something makes you rich. You afford cigarettes, you're rich, boy. Okay? You afford toxic behavior, partying, you're rich. So we can default people into being rich, because rich is technically a relative level, right? If you can start burning resources in other people's faces who don't consent to your fucking presence whatsoever, you're rich. You're the subject of this diet, basically. Eat the rich, then what? I mean, what you don't get it? So I'm gonna start building these. I can create a sticky background, sticky. Bam. Very possible that this is actually being censored. Very possible.
Once upon a time, he developed bullion poisoning. And finally, he betrayed Jesus.
That's propaganda. It sounds like propaganda. Bullion poisoning? You mean bullying poisoning? Betrayed Jesus? What is going on
20
right now?
pieces of silver. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, the moral of this, if you do, you miss out on all the golden eggs you could have had.
Oh, so if we eat the rich are not gonna do the rich things anymore. No. If we pluck them away from their companies and the companies still operate properly, then the rich person is no longer needed. Obsolete. If a rich person is obsolete, game over. Alright? You're no longer a part of earnings, of profits for that company. We should be the ones voting and deciding if a person looks obsolete or not. And then making a test. And if the test succeeds, they're gone. They're no longer a part of that company anymore. They're no longer needed in that system. So, alright. Obsolation test. If that's what you wanted, Goose Guy.
And the long is over enemy air.
Again, the most important thing about Eat the Rich is that resources are distributed just enough so people feel happy and healthy with what resources are providing. Not isolated and depressed. Outcasted. Struggling to do anything at all in life. Building up resentment. Are you kidding me? And our morality just keeps dropping. And then even more relationships get destroyed. Even more bad guys get away with things. If Golden Goose existed and constantly laying out good ideas for people, then yeah. Gets rewarded, we buy those eggs, game over. Right? The moment it stops laying eggs, though, because it does happen eventually, we have to retire the fucking goose until further notice. Temporary retirement. Alright? You can come back, lay your fucking egg. But, we have to, like, surveil. Not just like, well, rich people generally invent things, generally sell things. No, they establish a pariah company that sucks people dry as much as possible.
And other Democrats from the anti-math wing of the party have proposed
oh my god, this fucking buffoon.
Wealth taxes. These are, on the surface, sounds fine. The government needs money for things like roads and moon bases and our various...
One of them is funnier than the other. Or rather, even impossible. Government needs to keep morality up, not the imaginary infrastructure. People are unhealthy or unhappy, they won't be making babies. Country will just decay. That's the first sign of why morality is needed. Crime rates go up, segregation grows, under low morality, like, you name it. You can start fucking picking up a huge list. Unrest, distraction, protest, strikes happen. People refuse to work entirely under low morality. Like, the worst of the worst things happen. And government desperately needs to keep morality high and find a way to give candy to the crying baby. A candy that works. Candy that is cheap enough for all them babies that are crying right now. I would say population size is the least of our worries right now. It's the population quality that's the most worrisome part.
People keep all...
No. The problem is rich people can enslave poor people. Can even create a loophole of enslavement. If they take more than 50% of the labor product, while you were working, the rich person was working against you because he's still withholding a lot of money that you might want to have, right? He's still able to dangle a lot of money in front of you. Every single time you make a penny, the rich person is making extra pennies to dangle in front of you. And they can buy up services, they can buy up enslavement anytime. Money is not free. Money equals enslavement of someone. Someone's gonna fucking try and chase that money. We call them jobs. Wow. So fancy. Call enslavement jobs. 50-50. If you're working just to stay afloat, it's enslavement. If you're working because it's cool to have money and you have nothing better to do with your life, well, it's your niche. It's your epic solution. It's not exactly enslavement per se. But that's the scary thing. You can't just like give someone $1,000 because someone else is gonna try and seek $1,000, and they will be enslaved in the process by that person who just received $1,000. We would prefer to only enslave machines, automatic processes, but a lot of people get, stuck as a middleman to some degree, doing repetitive tasks as a result. And that's not good. That's not healthy. And this is money driven. So as long as money motivates and exists in rich people's pockets, they can enslave as much as they want. They can build data centers now where the enslavement is just simply, nuisance and thievery of water, the most basic resource. At some point, the greed is too much. If we don't tax, rich people can just do as much nuisance as they please. And again, rich people are not just the ones on the top of the pyramid. They might be at the top of their own pyramids. Alright, they found their own fucking peak existence. It can be relative to a person's objective, basically, of who is rich. Self-declarant, based on actions alone. Yes, if a golden goose is laying eggs, if it's a useful person, he's rightfully rich, to the point where he's not actually rich, he's useful. The identity is completely superseded by usefulness, not just rich. Rich, of like, we should look at rich people of like, okay, how, what do you want? What do you want from life, right? You have all these capacities to get whatever you want. What do you actually want? How do you lay out your life right now? Are you gonna give money to your children so they're gonna be enslavers of humanity too? Like, we have to like really, first of all, like that's the process, right? Think about enslavement. How money enslaves people. How Mr. Beast enslaves contestants, and so on. No, we don't want that visual. To live with that visual all the time. People are just putting so much effort for so little money just to get by. It's a terrible visual. We want to like, cut the fraud, cut the scumbags short, and give money to people who deserve money. Give money to the golden geese, who might not have been even discovered yet, by the way. Butt fuck tails, basically.
All of their money in a large vault.
Buck fuck. That's what it is. Prostitution tales. Every time you have to remind prostitutes of like, you're fucking with potentially immoral person, okay? Money does not equal morality. So just keep that in mind. The next time you are mentioned in Epstein files as a victim, you know, not redacted or anything, straight up mentioned. One way to eat the rich and boost morality at the same time, so government doesn't have to be a middleman necessarily. Ethical welfare jobs. Instead of giving welfare to people, how about we give them activities that are like ethical or education? Pay people for going through education, successfully. How about that? A lot of money for going through, just like making progress in life, even if it's illusory progress. But it's something that rich people would like appreciate, right? We don't force people to be taxed necessarily, but we force them to invest into well-being of others. That's what it is. Bam. The way we're gonna tax the rich is the way we're gonna escape the hellhole of capitalism. That's it. We just haven't decided on the most important thing in the whole fucking system, right? We sort of like unchained the idea, but we will still have to chain it back up again. But when we chain it, it has to be a very, very well secured and designed solution. Because again, back in my day, rich people were taxed and there was no, fiat currency. All of that will have to come back. When life gives you lemons, you ask, why can't I make landlord lemonade? Instead, oh, something happened to the background. We ran out of things. It's like a Hearthstone background or something. You ask life, I want to make lemonade out of landlords. One thing that didn't really occur to me is the title. Because Penguin Zero called himself Cro-Magnon. And I'm like, okay, let's use that for a title. Maybe that triggered the system of harassment. I don't usually call people names, but when people call themselves names, I don't have a choice but to react to that and be like, okay, if the name applies, it implies a lot of information. It's so fucking disgusting. Self-harassment is a trap. It's a trap, guys. Trap. Nah, he's just self-harassing. It's fine. Don't fall for it. Don't call him the same name that he called himself. So I don't know what fucking tripped the system necessarily, but there's just an angry mob, vicious mob, and it's one of those things that have to fucking be eradicated, of course. I will talk about landlords, sure. Rich defenders are also rich people. By default, you want to defend rich people? You are. LARPing as a rich person, congratulations. Good luck for you. Go, defend them. If that's what your aim, your goal, you have to pay the price of being rich. Being treated as a bunch of rich people in my comment section. Aw, that's so nice. $5, please, though. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely auto-reply to every single hater to give me $1. Then I'll reply to their stuff. Like, just buy my membership. And my membership happens to be pretty cheap. That's how we have to treat people. Because the trend might not go away. As some people will still be clingy to other rich people. But we have to start setting the stage that they have to pay a price. Harassment is welcome to my channel if you pay for membership. That sounds good. See, the whole point is like we have to be reasonable. We can't just throw slogans in order to mesmerize people. We have to somehow mesmerize them with the perfect plan of how to tax the rich, how to distribute wealth, and how to, label who is rich in the first place, who gets taxed by this, newly adopted system. Landlords are rich because housing is scarcity. Anyone who gets to play scarcity games is also rich. Women are rich. Attack women. It's over. There shall be no insults. That's a real threat. I don't know. That's a real threat, guys.
Peddling self.
The poor would get poorer. Well, look, there's two things that poor people need. People need clean access to money and ever-evolving access to services that accept money. Once you cripple one of these things, it's over. Like, people can have millions upon millions of dollars, and one bread costs millions of dollars. Oops. Or breads are not even sold at all. You have to bake one yourself. Shitty service. You cripple one of these, economy collapses. This is how simple it is, and yet people couldn't fucking crack it up to this point. Okay. You'll crack it to Tuesday, right? 2 days later. After I said you're gonna crack this one. If people don't have access to money, if they can't get money just by doing something somehow, right? Something by default, at least have welfare, at least, right? There has to be a fucking genuine, clean way to get money. Because otherwise you can't even participate in the economy. You're getting outcasted from the most basic shit of humanity that humanity can actually create. Because you're still gonna be poor. Even if you get a little bit of fucking money, you're still gonna be poor. No one's gonna talk to you. You're not gonna get the correct amount of advice to live a proper life. You still want to know how many services you're capable of using. You're still not gonna explore the world with a tiny bit of cash. And we'll still have to fight temptations, addictions, and mistakes. You have to still fight demons despite having some cash. It doesn't solve all the problems just because you can feed yourself and exist. Yeah, sure. All that we have to consider is just inhumane treatment that capitalism sometimes produces, and it feels every single time the simplest solution is just take 1% of rich people's money and just give it kindly to people in need in the moment. In the fucking moment. And the rich person is going to wake up the next day, whether he has 99% of his wealth or 100% of its wealth, he won't feel a thing. While some people will actually prolong their survival as a result. Oh no, we don't want to eat the rich for any good reasons whatsoever. If we eat rich too fast, we will run out of rich people to eat. That's right. They're hard to eat. They are very hard to eat. Guys, this is not about even eating the rich people. It's about eating frauds. A lot of rich people are just fraudsters, bro. A lot of them just escape jail just because they have too much money. You can throw money at police and the policeman disappears in the poof of smoke. Like, bro, government is way not busy enough to find frauds and catch fraudsters because we're not having a surveillance situation. So, well, one thing that has to be done desperately, embrace surveillance to catch them. To catch them rich people. Yeah. Who's rich right now? I wonder. Oops. This is getting tough. Uh-oh. Yeah. So that's the last time you've seen this graphic. Thank you guys for watching. If I was rich, I would make better graphic. Why are you watching my content? You should be watching rich people's content, am I right? Well, you're watching my content because you have to get the correct education of what the diet is gonna look like. What I'm hungry for. Is the biggest, like, you must recognize what is the biggest rich people propaganda. And the biggest propaganda is that, well, it is what it is. When it comes to the hierarchy, it's very tough to like climb the hierarchy. It's very tough to just like cancel people. So just like leave it what it is. That's a sign of a broken system. Never let people flex a broken system. If a person is no longer performing, the ship gotta go down. Let the ship go down. Let the shame sink in and sink the ship. If Taylor Swift is not making good music, kick that ass out of here. I don't give a fuck if she's Powerpuff, if she mesmerized me for being powerful back in the day. You not making good music? Get the fuck out of here. Performance means everything right now. And we have to promote good performers and sing the bad ones. And it's always a dynamic situation. The broken system is gonna fucking clog up. That's what Eat the Rich means, is to fix the fucking system. That's it. Kill the fraud. It's not as malicious as it seems, but we have to awaken people's envy. People have envy, and it's a good thing, and we have to awaken that shit and make you act upon it. Right? You deserve a better life. Wake up, bro. If I get a better life, I make some crazy things happen. Crazy things in the world happen. Again, I declare myself as godlike. So when I make something, it's gonna change the world every single time. No one should just sit there and accept the trauma. Even as I accept welfare, does that mean I'm just gonna silently, like, just be happy that I don't have to have a job? No, I have to fucking work. I have to work. Not having a job is the least of your worries. The biggest of your worries is working. Working has very little relationship to having a job. All right? Working is your effort. Job is someone else's demand. It might not connect necessarily. All right? So most of the time, job is just you get money. You get money, and money is grant you a wish in the world. Great stuff, right? Work means you make money more efficient. You make your body more efficient. You live longer. You cram in knowledge in case of anything happens. You're ready to talk to people. You're ready to solve problems. You're ready to fucking build a shelter around yourself. To sustain your health, happiness, all the stuff. That's what work is. That's the way 10 times more important, 100 times more important than a job. Relatively speaking. But there are job NPCs out there. There are people who want you burned out, who prefer you being burned out. It's more relatable to them. Those are degenerates. Okay? So be envious that in order to like kill the job. If you can kill the job, you don't need to have a job. Kill it. But what if nobody works? Someone's gonna work. And that someone is gonna, make a fortune. Is what it is. Not everyone has to work. If we're, like, again, we have to see what happens, and we have to improvise. A lot of people just have imaginary problems of like, well, if we do this, then the imaginary problem will occur. Are you sure? Are you talking like a scientist? Have you tested your fucking theory first? The rule of capitalism was pretty simple. I mean, it's coming to an end. To me, I stopped caring already. But no, it's still relevant to the point. It's just like you have to learn. You have to watch Capitalism Explained series, dead series stuff. Wait, is that? Oh, conveniently, yes. This is Capitalism Explained. I just woke up to the fact of what I'm fucking doing here. Mosquitoes Explained coming up next because they're invading. One thing that describes is like, do whatever you can get away with, because that describes the companies as well. That's why YouTube has this weird ass strike system. It works for them, and they don't get in trouble for it. Good. The end. Again, I'm not supposed to be spineless about it, because it's not a big deal to lose one video in the end of the day. You also have to like be a kind of present reactive-ish. Or rather, like, if I uploaded successfully 1,500 videos, then all of a sudden getting one strike is just unlucky. Unlucky for me. I stepped on the wrong thing on a Lego, basically. So you can get away with a lot of things in capitalism. And of course, it's best to, like, not hate other people, because they can also get away with a lot of crazy things. If you hate on them, you get a lot of negative attention from NPCs. You don't want that. You don't want that. They can get away with egging your house or something. Like, you just like, everyone is getting away with crazy things. I have to constantly move around and seek what can you do. I guess I can get away with feeling pain and suffering. I hope I have been doing that, and my whole life is a lie or something. I don't know. That's one of the things under capitalism or corporatism is you can feel, if you're smart enough, you can just feel the pain of other people. You can just empathize. So instead of, again, I work, and when I work, I recognize that a lot of people are suffering still. Even if I don't, even if I don't want to suffer for obvious reasons, I can still register other people suffering, and at the same time, I also can register different poverties, because it's not like I can escape all of them at once as well. Yeah. People don't like when you flex welfare. They just don't. NPCs get very stinky about it, despite allowing, so, like, oh, the supply and demand works, but welfare doesn't work. Like, let me fucking talk. I get welfare for a reason, to, like, get free time, and I can spend free time for a reason, to try and escape other poverties too. You know, just one tiny poverty has been alleviated, titsy bitsy, and still technically I have a job of like upkeeping my mother and our relationship. That's the job part, rather. That's the employment of, like, I have to go to the grocery store and I still have to feed her, basically, even though she's already fat. So she's getting away with some crazy stuff. She's also getting away from social media and not getting shamed for being fat. Like, you gotta think carefully how many pieces of context you might be missing when you overfocus on bullying, right? That's one thing you can't get away with, because you're just wrong most of the time. Most of the time, you just have a bitchy attitude and you got rage baited into saying a bunch of nonsense. So that's what I have to live with under capitalism. It's fascinating. I would love people to listen to that story, and I would like their stories to be heard too. It's like a mutual relationship called friendship that Just a mysterious thing. I know it's not invented yet, but one can dream. So either rich, so we can at least have free time. Is that too much to ask? Either rich, so we can respect each other instead of rich people. So we stop focusing on them. Is that too much to ask? I think I'm also shitting out another words, which call me a golden goose at this point, because I'm shitting out, very, 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 very important concepts constantly. And that nobody cares about. Imagine doing that. Imagine being a golden goose who, like, no one's waiting for me to shoot out a golden fucking egg. But I do it anyways. Right? No demand, infinite supply. So after all these words that I have invented for myself, I need one more. Word crafting should scare the shit out of you that I am passionate about word craft. This should be the most painful thing that you can hear from me personally, if you know where I'm going with this. Because at some point I will stop crafting English words, I will start crafting my own language. And I'm a middle finger your ass with that shit. If you're part of humanity, fuck you then. Right, at some point, there's a boiling point, my head explodes, I grow an alien head instead, and just fuck this shit. You're incapable of eating rich. What is wrong with you? That would be the happiest day of my life, just seeing you sharpen your teeth for once and understand why rich, not supposed to be rich for too long, in such a solid and secure way. Nah. Rich should just simply pay more. That alone would solve the problem. But they want to pretend that the same rules as apply to the regular person applies to the rich person, even better, because they get to buy in bulk, they get to buy from the source, right? It's so convenient. They pay less, not more. That's fucking crazy. Rich people need to pay more for whatever they fucking buy, whatever service they acquire. If you're rich, we're in danger. We're in danger of actually undercharging these fuckers, basically. That's what eating means. Fundamentally, the most basic form is you simply charge more because the person is rich because they can afford it. And you actually charge less when a person cannot afford it. That's what it means. But how do you build that system? Right? How do you get to that fucking convergence point of actually solving the problem? What steps do you make to ensure, without, like, again, interviewing every single person of how much they make, and at the same time they can just ditch your ass and go somewhere else, right? How do you implement a sneaky system to fucking catch rich people and take their money? You know? It's tough. Like, it's a constant cat and mouse game. It's constant fucking Tom and Jerry, bro. You ask for a tip, and they might choose not to tip. Simple as that. The end. What are you gonna do? They will just, I don't want to tip anymore. I don't want to give to charity anymore. They might choose to give you a middle finger. What do you do? Like, we have to eat the rich constantly. Eat them up. Nag them for money that they constantly have, because it should eat their reputation otherwise. Like, you have to build these very complicated systems to catch the fucking Jerry, bro. That's the fundamental that people just don't understand. They put this propaganda up front on YouTube, front page. I get constantly fucking harassed by YouTube's, security system, while these people get to fucking shove propaganda down your throat. That's the world we live in, you know? The rich don't want to be eaten. They will pay a lot of money to shove propaganda. What are you gonna do, right? Where are you gonna hide from this shit? exclusive to my channel, but probably limited time offer as well if I get blocked. I mean, it depends how the war goes. You know, I might also get unlucky. I get on the dark side of the rich people. What am I gonna do then? Right? We have to work together on this one. Fucking buzzcraft. Echoism, ideological. Ooh, echoism sounds fucking cool, actually. I'ma lock it in then. Ideology that you... Oh, fucking hell. Ideology that you should not shut up about the most important changes your life and other people's life needs. ASAP. You should not shut up. So echoism is exactly this, of me repeating, eat the rich, eat the rich. It makes sense. It makes total sense. No one can debunk this shit. Alright? But they can hush money the shit out of it. So the game's on, baby. The gig is up. We're locked in when we found the reasons and the hopes and dreams of where are we going with this. It's a convergence ritual like everything else. We know where to go, but the real question is how close can we get? Thank you for watching.